They don't realize smart people use smartphones, huh? Seeing through BS they thought was gonna slide. Download Text Now because it cuts out clownery. You can literally activate it from your couch. Nationwide 5G with the same towers the other companies use. Pay what you want or not at all. You're in control. Show these ridiculous carriers we ain't paying for stupid. Because we're way too smart to pay dumb.
Free app-based talk and text via the Text Now app. Requires Wi-Fi or data connection. Data plans sold separately. 5G where available.
This is Fixing Famous People, the podcast where two reality television producers pitch solutions to save celebrities in dire straits.
So let's meet this week's guest and find out who they are helping us fix. Dominick, listeners, you know and love her from not only being a guest for many times on this podcast, but also her own podcast, To All the Men I've Tolerated Before. It's Natalie Katona. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you once again for letting me bully you into something that only I want to talk about.
No, I don't know. I feel like today's Fixie transcends generations. I mean, I believe there are toddlers from 20 years ago who identify with his greatest product, their parents, everyone in between. I think that he's not a person that people think about every day, but I definitely think he's a person that people would say, where the fuck is this queen? I do believe
I know
that.
Exactly where he is.
No, and that's the therein lies the problem, is that we do know exactly where he is, and it's not a good place.
We are here to fix Matthew Morrison, who obviously we all primarily know through Glee, although through some other places as well. But before we even play the middle name game, allow me to tell a story. I was driving back from Long Island, where I was visiting my family, and I saw an alert come onto my phone that Christopher had booked Natalie Katona to fix someone. And I could see it on my phone, but I needed my glasses to put it on. But I was able to read Natalie Katona. As Chris just said, the name of Natalie's podcast is Men I Would Like to Murder in My Kitchen. And I started laughing before I even put my glasses on, because I was like, who's Natalie going to kill this week? Because there's no way Natalie Katona comes on this podcast and we're fixing a man and she's constructive. There's absolutely no fucking way. And when I put my glasses on, I initially saw Matthew, and I really did think that we were going to be fixing Matthew McConaughey. And I was actually pleasantly surprised about Matthew Morrison.
I mean, I'll come back for McConaughey. I have notes on him too.
You were going to say that. Probably.
I know, but he doesn't. As annoying as he is, doesn't need fixing at all. Sadly, he's not on the list.
No, he doesn't.
I'll tell you that much.
He's perfectly happy.
He's
JKL,
right where
baby.
we all want him to be, including himself. You know, like no one objects to where he is at the moment.
No, and he's like, can you believe that I'm a movie star? And they're like, and everyone's like, yeah, we also can barely believe that you're a movie star.
Right. I'll take thoughts I had in 1998 for 5,000, Matthew. Thank you. Let's play the middle name game. That's where I ask Christopher and our guest, who this week is Natalie Katona, to guess the middle name of the person we're fixing, who this week is Matthew Morrison. I said that very slowly because in a recent episode, I just read the entire name, including the middle name. Who was that I did that for, Christopher?
Chad Michael, it was Chad Michael Murray, but it was the person that we were gonna fix, like the person we picked.
That's right.
Because
I read all names.
Anyway, yeah.
Matthew Morrison, born in Fort Ord, California. He is 47 years of age. He was born October 30th, 1978, which makes him a Scorpio, thereby mildly devious, just at the baseline. And you know you are, Scorpions. You know that you are. Matthew and Morrison are his biological and, as we say, birth certificated names. On the Dominick Pupa scale of gettability, this is as close to a 10 as we're getting, actually. What is Matthew Morrison's middle name?
I have a strong gut guess, but Chris, are the spirits talking to you?
One came to me and I was like, there's no way it's like this is too common. And then he said 10 and I was like, oh, this might be it.
Yeah.
What you go first?
I think it's, okay, I'm going to go with Paul, Matthew Paul Morrison.
Okay, that was a beautiful guess. I'm going to guess Charles.
These are both fantastic guesses and very in the wheelhouse, but neither of them is correct as we are today fixing Matthew James Morrison.
Fuck.
You know what? James came to me as soon as I said Paul.
MJ, if you will. M. Jimmy Morrison. M. Jimbo
MJM.
Morrison.
MJM.
MJM, good. It's a beautiful monogram. That's a beautiful monogram, MJM.
Yeah. Where do we start?
So, Natalie, do we do the history of Matthew or do we just come right off the bat and say, when did you start hating him, Natalie? And then just go downhill from there? What's it going to be?
Well, first off, are we going to humble myself as much as we did for the Masked Singer bonus episode where you two were like, this show's terrible. And I'm like, I love the Masked Singer. And then, so now I have to admit that I loved Glee. Glee came into my life at a very lonely time. I had been slut shamed out of my friend group and Glee and Leah Michelle were the only people there for me. I went to a Halloween party thrown by my mother as Rachel Berry.
Incredible.
Do you mind if we back up just about 8 or 9 seconds here and just get to what for our Patreon subscribers, at least, what can you tell us about the slut shaming incident that we
Sure.
Great. Let's do it.
Well, it's funny that you should ask. So I was a sophomore in college, I think, when Glee had hit its stride in its first or second season. And I allowed a waiter from my favorite Mexican restaurant come to my dorm room and motorboat me. And therefore, I was kicked out of my friend group because I went to Catholic college.
Okay, you get to stop talking so I can breathe deeply for 5 seconds because I'm heaving. One moment. Okay.
Not motorboat you.
No, you cannot. I am too immature to allow the word motorboat as a verb to pass by without like a full 45 of meditation. Go on.
I mean, that's the story. This man had taken me on one date. That's it. That's the story. This man had taken me on one date, and then he was passing my college on the way home from a rugby game. And he said, "Can I stop by?" And I was like, "Yes." And then we kind of lightly hooked up. And then as I was walking down the stairs with him to go home, like, goodbye, sir, my friend was walking in and she was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, it's the guy from Don Pablo's. What are you talking about? The guy the guy that gets us our tortillas. What are you talking about? And she's like, "What were you doing with him inside?" And I was like, "Nothing good." And so she created this campaign against me where she
campaign, no less.
A campaign against me where she said that I had changed and that nothing could prepare her from coming home from a date, mind you. She had also just been out with some guy. That nothing had prepared her for coming home and just seeing me sloppily walk downstairs with some random guy. I go, he's not some random guy. That's the guy that brings us the extra tortillas that I require for my fajitas.
Yeah. Like, this is someone I deal with on a regular basis. It's not a random person.
He's met my sister. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, my God.
Incredible.
By the way, this episode of Fixing Famous People is brought to you by Don Pablo's and their all-you-can-eat taquitos with a side of tit. Okay,
with
go ahead.
A side of titties. And,
oh, God.
Yeah. So then when your entire friend group dumps you for being the mildest slut you've ever run into, you have to lean into your strengths. And my strengths were early 80s
watching
power
TV.
ballad covers. And that's why I love Glee. Yes, and I love watching TV.
That was a great fucking story. I mean, all the details. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for them. I love Glee. I think I hate to sound so milquetoasty about it, but I sort of followed the general populace. We're like loving the first few seasons and then just falling off gradually when it didn't really get preposterous. It's just,
it turned into circus.
You
it
really can only handle 4 years of those people, meaning theater Glee people. Like after 4 years, you do need to turn them off a little. And I think the show sort of mirrored that.
Also, I had been really nervous to rewatch Glee because of like how much I really enjoyed it in real time when it was airing weekly. And I turned on the first season. I was like, this is a great pilot, a pilot for the ages.
Yeah, the first season is basically perfect. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. And like we were watching, that was when like Dexter was on TV and like Boardwalk Empire was on. Like this is when like really big like behemoth shows were like on, and like we were watching all those shows, and then Glee was in that rotation of like shows that we all as a friend group in college were all watching together, truly.
And like 24 was like a hit on Fox. Was that around
Fox
Glee?
was having a moment. Like this was 2009 was when Glee, and to be honest with you, I thought it was so much longer ago than that. It feels so much further in the past than 17 years.
No.
But Fox was really riding high, and Glee was a huge part of it. Like it was such different programming and spoke to what had been sort of an underserved audience, really. Like it was a huge hit with kids and adults, which was what made it great. Like families could watch it and it was just edgy enough without being offensive. Jane Lynch, one of the great TV villains truly
Ever.
of all
like
time.
Of all time. Yeah.
And quite honestly, introduced, we're very big on this pod about the great white way, as it were, introduced probably hundreds of thousands of people to Broadway and Broadway shows who may never have even thought to encounter them in their lives. So Glee served its purpose. And Matthew Morrison was, for all intents and purposes, especially during that first season, like the captain of that ship. Like I feel like he and Lea Michele were the faces of it that first season, at least.
And I believe they were dating or freshly broken up that first season.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, they dated.
What?
Yeah.
First motorboating and now this. I'm going to faint before this hour is over.
I swear.
Is this real?
Yeah. I mean, we don't fact check anything on this podcast, so I didn't bother looking it up, but I know that they have dated.
How dare you insult us?
Dominic asking Siri about it is our fact checking. So Dominic, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I'm no longer asking Siri. I'm asking my chat GPT, and I apologize, but her name is Tess. Do go through Tess.
Don't do it.
Did Matthew Morrison date Lea Michele?
There are several episodes where Rachel Berry decides that she's in love with Mr. Schue, and she does a very sultry rendition of Crush.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lea Michele and Matthew Morrison did date briefly before they starred together on Glee. Michele confirmed it herself in her 2014 memoir, Brunette Ambition.
Oh, brother.
Okay, I did not need to know that was the name of that book. Now I'm mad at her again.
I'm glad I know, though. I'm glad I do have it, though, with me.
Now I'm mad. I feel like Chris is going to have a serious conversation with me about using ChatGPT on the podcast when we're done. Are you going to? Am I going to get?
I mean, if you want to destroy the planet, Dominic, you can completely do that.
Stop. That cost us $2.
I'm kind of done with it. I'm almost off of it anyway. I don't have kids.
It's too late anyway now, right? It doesn't really. It's too late anyway. Before we go too far into Glee, he is from Broadway. That's where we get him. Because like he pops onto Glee and like.
When he was in high school, he appeared in musicals with none other than Jodie Pants Off Dance Off Sweeten from Full House.
Wow.
I guess they were like the Duke and Duchess of their high school theater department. I'm getting a pointed finger from Natalie Katona right now.
No, go on with Jodie Sweetin and high school. This is me just being like,
okay. That was it. That was the whole fact.
He was also the first Link Larkin on Broadway's Hairspray.
Oh, yes.
The original Link Larkin.
Very important moment in history, actually, in the original Hairspray, because that was a very big move. But it was not his Broadway debut, though. He was in a revival of Rocky Horror before he was in Hairspray. And of course, the name escapes me of that dude in Rocky Horror. I just saw the recent one, which was quite good.
Was he the lead?
Oh, he had to be. Brad. He must have been Brad. I mean, if he was anything other than Brad, I would have been. I don't know that there's another role for Matthew Morrison in Rocky Horror other than Brad. Unless he was playing Rocky, the constructed stud, but I can look this up.
I had convinced myself I hallucinated that he was the original Link Larkin.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's how he becomes famous, right?
Yeah, he doesn't feel historical. Like when they tell me that Hugh Jackman was the first Gaston in the Australian version of the play Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like Hugh Jackman is iconic and historical. But when you tell me that Matthew Morrison was the first Link Larkin in the pivotal Broadway musical Hairspray, I'm like, mm-mm.
No.
Well, and that's when we fast forward to today, that's why he's doing all that choreography at City Winery, right? It makes sense now, Natalie. The video that you sent me is now like makes so much more sense.
Okay, but not all of the choreography makes sense because we'll get to the one-man show and what we all have to brace ourselves for talking about, because I think that there's something that he talks pretty flippantly about that we've all agreed to not just bring up in everyday conversation.
One fun aside from Matthew Morrison, apparently in the early aughts, he was recruited to join a boy band that was named, I'm assuming it's pronounced Element, but it's spelled LMNT. Coincidentally, every day after I go to the gym, I drink an electrolyte packet and the brand name is LMNT. Are these
is he a part owner?
Is Matthew Morrison benefiting financially by my hydration, by my manic hydration?
Unclear.
These are the questions now that I will talk about Matthew Morrison.
I fully believe he's going to listen to this episode. I'm sure he Googles himself once a week.
Yeah,
he's got that vibe.
The original Link Larkin in the Hairspray the musical is big. That's big. So that makes him like something, right? He's then being talked about. That's good. That's that's something. But then he's kind of just in like Broadway. Like he's in some of these other shows, but it's nothing as big as Hairspray, you know?
He's not. For like Broadway cultists, there was the following year he appeared in a musical called The Light in the Piazza. Now, I didn't get to see this and it didn't run for very long. He did get Tony nominated for it, but it's one of those musicals that you sort of like, when and if it gets revived, it's going to be 1 billion times bigger than it was when it first ran. Because people who did see it said it was like one of the best things they'd ever seen on Broadway. It just wasn't too big of a hit. But that's where he was Tony nominated. I don't think he was nominated other than that on Broadway. Maybe as we go on, I will correct myself as I normally do, but
he wasn't nominated for Hairspray. Was Hairspray one of those musicals that didn't get the respect it deserved?
No, Hairspray got a shitload of respect and won Best Musical and Actor and Actress and Supporting Actor, actually. But I just don't think that Link Larkin was like I don't know. It didn't feel like a nominatable. Is that a word?
It's all about Tracy.
Role.
It's all about the mom.
Yeah, it's really all about But yeah, Harvey Fierstein and Marissa Jarrett Winokur and Dick Latessa all won Tonys. It won everything that year.
Just not for our boy. Not for our boy Matthew.
No. The legacy was ruined by John Travolta in the role of Edna. I feel like John Travolta playing Edna removed the cachet of Hairspray. It really did.
And the musical movie of Hairspray is so good despite John Travolta. Like you have to just like really ignore that part of it. And then you're like, I love this movie. Like Zac Efron, great.
Yeah. No, but everyone else, great. You're right. You're a true but honestly, Michelle Pfeiffer, no other actress should play that role ever.
Incredible.
They should digitize. They should put her in the original. All due respect to the John Waters film. Like I love her.
She's so hot. And she's only getting hotter.
Amanda Bynes, one of her like latest roles, honestly.
And perfect. And perfectly cast, by the way.
Yeah. Yes.
And so herein lies the question. How does he get cast on Glee? What sexual favor does Ryan Murphy want to do to him? Because that's what it is, right? Is that, I mean, in theory, because they need a Broadway-esque person. I get that. It makes sense. He plays Will Schuester, who's like the musical director of the high school. He is hot. I'm sorry to say he's very attractive in Glee. He has a great body. He can sing very well. Like he's cast perfectly for it. But I just feel like this is the very first in like an avalanche of like hot, vulnerable men that Ryan Murphy casts in things. And we're like, how did this person get this role? I think I know why. Wink. Do we disagree with this?
Well, and it's always my understanding with Ryan Murphy that he just always, there's like no audition process. He just decides who's cast. And they're like, I don't believe that there were a long list of people who like turned down Will Schuester. Like he went after Matthew Morrison and that was probably it.
Yeah. And I went after the key words that you're putting together there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am not Star Jones. I am not a lawyer, is what I'm trying to say. What I will say is that I don't know how he got the job, but I feel like at this point, we all know that Ryan Murphy definitely casts by instinct. And I'm sure he knew from Matthew Morrison as Link. I mean, I think that's, he guessed it on like a bunch of other shit. I'm reading here on Wiki, like Ghost Whisperer. I can't. We should. Whenever I think of Ghost Whisperer, I just start to laugh, and I'm not even sure why.
I love Ghost Whisperer.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. I can't. What? You know what? We gotta get JLH on this list. Why have we not put her on this list yet? I'm shocked.
I don't know. I'll do it right now.
Between Glee, because Glee has been about 17 years ago. And now with the one-man show and the cameos that keep getting leaked on TikTok, what has Matthew Morrison been doing? Oh, he was in that Just About Time musical that Jonathan Groff headlined. That's in the basement of the theater of Wicked.
Okay. All right.
Oh, God.
Just in time, just about time. You know, it's the one where like Jonathan Groff is like, let's dance. And he picks someone from the audience.
Well, let's not forget, in 2022, he was announced as a judge for the 17th season of So You Think You Can Dance.
And got fired.
And then a month later was fired. I mean, I'm trying to find the most recent year I can for you. He was fired a month later, and he was replaced by none other than international heroine Leah Remini on So You Think You Can Dance.
Period.
These were amidst claims that he had sent an inappropriate text message. And he said that was a lie, and he was dismissed for other reasons. We've never found out what those other reasons were, unless Natalie Katona is bringing us that information.
No, I did watch the video where he brought out his phone and he read the one text message he sent to the girl that got him fired or whatever. And then he went like, case closed. It couldn't have just been that. And I think this highlights my biggest problem with Matthew Morrison is that he has what I believe he believes he possesses the riz that an actual more charismatic man possesses. So I think he thinks he's very funny and playful and cute and whatnot. And I find him so disturbing at all times.
Disturbing.
Yeah,
okay.
Unsettling.
Natalie, I'm going to add something to this and it's going to all make sense, Dominic. There's a picture on his IMDb that is a picture of him and Justin Timberlake together.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibration, he's like a theater Justin Timberlake. Is that
yes. On
permeating
Glee,
for you?
He's basically always like, I want to be Justin Timberlake.
It is.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does say that.
I mean, I'm looking at that photo, and it looks like they're conjoined to me. Actually,
yeah,
like they could just be the same person. Emotionally, They are the same.
So
that really fits. Is my fix now going to be for him to appear in a Justin Timberlake biopic?
Oh, I hope so.
P.S. It's not.
Because the thing of it is like, okay, think about Justin Timberlake. By all measures of everything about physical attractiveness, like we should all still be hot for Justin Timberlake, but we can't because he's opened his mouth one too many times and he's disgusting. So it's very much the same about Matthew Morrison. There's no humor or humility or like humanity behind anything he says. He's always talking and he truly believes that he's telling you the one thing that's going to save your life. And then he'll say something like so wise and prophetic on these cameos that someone has bought you because like your pet dog has died or something. And then he immediately, after
also,
he's like, hey.
You can also find Chris and I on Cameo. Go ahead, Natalie.
And so now he's like, hey, heard your dog died. That sucks. And then he's like, did your dog have dumps like a truck?
No,
Guy's like,
that's
what?
not real.
And
that's
he's
not real.
always
Don't
rapping the
that.
thong song.
It's giving white chocolate. It's giving white chocolate. Am I wrong?
Yes. Yes. He's always, and I get it. Him doing the thong song on Glee was ridiculous and iconic and does not make sense and has recently made it back into the zeitgeist. But it's very much like how Bret Michaels always has to bring up, he wrote every rose has its thorn.
Yeah.
Every episode of Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, he was like, yeah. And every rose has its thorn. And this woman would be crying about her dad's like drug addiction. And he'd be like, yeah. Because and it's very much like the thong song is his. He's like, man, I can't believe that people still love it when I'm like, dumps like a truck. And I'm like, no, stop it, Matthew.
And also, like, you didn't even write that song or perform it.
Or perform it. That's Cisco's song.
Okay. Here's what I'll say, though, is that when Glee was at its best, it was because it was still a show for adults. And he was a humongous part of that being a thing. Because his storyline in season 1 was
Glee
that his wife
so
was
funny.
pretending to be pregnant when she wasn't. And he's actively like hates his wife, but has to be with her because she's faking a pregnancy. And then he really wants to be with like the secretary or whatever she was, like the guidance counselor at the school, Miss Pillsbury, right? Pillsbury. And like he's in a love triangle with his wife and her. And the baby's coming, but it's not because the baby isn't real. And it was just like that's an adult theme. I'm sorry, a faked pregnancy by an adult, like, and all of that. And it was like just as much about the kids all being in love with each other as it was like, how is this woman going to pull off to her husband that she has a baby? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and there were real stakes, and it made it an adult TV show. And like, as it started to get more successful with kids, like he was kind of like pushed out of the show, I feel, and it became more about like teen drama. And not for an adult eye. Does that make sense? It turned into a teen show.
He definitely felt like a minor character in the later seasons of the show and not the lead, which he very clearly was in the beginning. Like it was, if you didn't know any better, it was almost like his POV. Like that. The first season with Legion
was his POV.
Like, he was the star, and it just was not like that in the later seasons.
No.
Well, and that's why everyone should raise their children like my mother raised me. You don't care what they watch. If they're watching a show that has a fake pregnancy plotline and your kids are confused, you just go, you'll get it one day. That's what my mom did with Dirty Dancing.
The other thing is that like, I remember when they were all getting really famous and there was like the Glee Live tour where they went around the country and performed all their best songs. He was like, I don't need to do this. And was like, I kind of think he thought he was going to turn into like, not to put him in Justin Timberlake's camp again, but like, I think he thought he was going to be like, I'm about to be Justin Timberlake 2.0.
Well, I think he thought
he might have. He might have.
I think he thought he was going to be John Stamos, and then they put John Stamos on his show to like one-up him for several episodes.
That is true.
Yes.
Because after Glee, he literally does nothing, basically.
And can I talk about the video now that made me go, he's a menace that needs to be stopped?
Yes.
Only after, I just want to make sure, only after we want to talk about someone's award potential. By the way, I forgot that he just was in Just in Time. And I remember being shocked at the Broadway show about Bobby Darin. And he was only in it for like 5 or 6 weeks, I think, in the spring. And I remember being shocked because I was like, I should have automatically thought, there was a time in history when I should have known automatically that Matthew Morrison would be like the obvious successor to Jonathan Groff, because they are of the same, without being rude, they are of the same sort of Broadway white bread ilk. And I was just surprised because I was like, oh, where have you been? And then that was it. So, but not so anymore. You wouldn't like if someone said Darren Criss was taking over Jonathan Groff, you'd be like, of course that tracks. He just wanted Tony. He's in our faces all the time. But Matthew Morrison, no, like I was surprised that he had taken over. He was nominated one time for the Primetime Emmy in 2010, which I guess would be for the first season of the show. I think he and Leah Michele were both nominated for leads that year. He did get nominated for the Golden Globe twice for the role of Mr. Schuester on Glee. twice because the Golden Globes, they're nominated at the end of the year. So he was nominated for the first 2 seasons with the Golden Globes. And there you have it.
Okay,
he
Natalie,
did
tell
win
us
a TV Land Award for Future Classic. Just so
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Future Classic. So he's doing this one-man show now. Like that's how he's making money currently.
Mm-hmm. At present, meaning as we like.
Oh yeah, you could buy tickets to
tonight.
it. And please
Tonight
do,
he's
and
doing
then
this.
send me your streams.
Well, I gotta go. What time is it?
So anyways, in this same show where he's doing his Link Larkin little manic dance and he's singing the thong song, eventually he gets to a point where he becomes very somber and serious. And he talks about dreams and like how important dreams are to hold on to and how something very strange almost cost him his dreams. And then Dom, he goes into a full-blown reenactment with his body of 9/11.
What?
I've sent you this video. How dare you not watch it? I was like, this is why we have to fix him.
Wait, I didn't see that one. What?
What?
Yeah.
I am so... I don't understand. What is he portraying in the...
Oh, okay. So,
it's an interpretive dance of the events of 9/11?
So Matthew Morrison was freshly like 21 in New York or something during 9/11. He's on the train and he's headed to the World Trade Center. He's like, all of a sudden we hear on the PA, next
I'm already
stop,
calling bullshit. I'm already
the
calling
World
bullshit.
Trade
Go
Center.
ahead.
And he goes, and he's all like a flutter because he's going to get to see New York for the first time or whatever the fuck have you. And then he goes, and then we were underground in that train for 3 hours. And that's when we realized, and I don't know how you would realize this. I don't think anyone's cell phones had internet at this point.
No, they sure didn't.
Not underground.
Not underground. So he describes the planes through the towers. I'm not going into it. We all know what happened on 9/11. And then he goes into how he writes a goodbye letter to everyone who's ever loved him on a receipt in his pocket. And he's doing choreographed moves, and there are choreographed sound effects and light cues. And then he goes, and then when I finally made it home that day, on this historic day, I opened my door to find my girlfriend in bed with another man. So the story isn't even about 9/11. It's about him getting to say that someone cheated on him.
Wow. That was his own personal 9/11. That was his own personal 9/11.
And then the story ends
the
with
towers
him going,
representing the ventricles of his heart, obviously.
And the story ends with
dare this man? How dare this man?
And the story ends with him going, and I looked at her in bed with this other man, and I told her, you might want to turn on the news. And then the story's over. New lighting cue. He goes right into, without even taking a breath or giving anyone a moment of silence, send in the clowns.
I am leaving my house right now. I need to walk around the block. I don't believe this story. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to send you the video. And then I think we should reenact it. Because here's the thing. I realize that I was in 8th grade when 9/11 happened. So now 9/11 is starting to come up more in TV and movies and whatnot. So anyways, I understand that 9/11 has started to become something that we have to grapple with more often than I was prepared to. I went and saw Come Away in the theater that I used to work for in Ohio, and I had a panic attack during it. I was like, oh no, oh no. So I just don't feel like legally he should be allowed to tell that
to do
story.
This.
Yeah, I just
and
feel
definitely
like
not to sing "Send in the Clowns" afterwards. Like that's for any song ever should to be the one that's on the lowest of the list of songs he can sing at the end of this is "Send in the Clowns."
And then so people are filming this on TikTok. This is how I saw it, and you could hear because he's so serious about it. He's like, "The world goes dark, and the smoke," and that he's using his movie phone voice.
That guy. He is sort of like a little bit. And look, I think he's gorgeous and talented.
Yeah,
I don't know about funny, but he's definitely like he can sing. He's definitely a Broadway star. I won't take that from him.
Yeah.
But he does appear to be like an SNL parody of a Broadway star.
Yes.
Like, I'm seeing a lot of indoor scarves when it's way too warm for that. That's what I'm feeling with Matthew Morrison.
He's also trapped, much like Chad Michael Murray, he is also trapped in like 2013 style-wise.
Yes.
Which is, I think, also holding him back.
Yes. So my whole thing is, number one, there's a way to talk about your girlfriend cheating on you and then being like, and by the way, it was 9/11. And then that's it.
Yeah, and that's the end of the... not like it being about 9/11, but it's actually about him getting cheated on.
Right. These people are sitting in his show and it's dead silent except for people who can't handle it. You know, the three of us in the audience going, because you want to laugh at him. Because you're like, why are you doing an interpretive dance about 9/11?
Well, some of the other videos that you sent me where he's singing, "You Can't Stop the Beat," but then instead of actually singing the song, he just like marks the steps of the choreography on the smallest stage that you've ever seen in the City Winery, Boston. Yeah. That's what he's...
And now I'm like, I don't think you're this good of a dancer, sir.
And it's just, he's like, okay, remember the episode in Friends where they were like, Joey has to do the choreography? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's the choreographer, and it's like kickball change, blah 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 blah. Pas de bourrée. That's what he's doing in the thing.
He's
it's
just
not even like
shouting
he's
steps at you.
Yes, and again, just sing. Why are you dancing on this weird little stage? It really is sad. And again, we wouldn't normally be talking about him ever because he really has gone away. But like seeing those videos, I was like, no, we must discuss this. This makes Katy Perry being stuck in that water bottle look good. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is.
Yes.
Because someone has asked me, they're like, was he just like feeling himself that day and decided that he had to bring the whole room down and talk about 9/11? And I go, no, I need you to know that he's written out that story as like a one-man play and he performs it every night of his show. There are music cues, there are light cues, there are choreographed movements. I'm pretty sure he does like a Matrix crash thing.
He wants to bring this to Broadway.
As someone who's done one-man shows, I've always, when I've done them, when you bordering on the self-indulgent, like you have to be careful about getting too serious. And I'm always panicked about that when I'm writing shows like that. And what you're describing here sounds very Just Jack. You know, it sounds very like exactly what you don't want it to be.
And now, mind you, 4 minutes ago, we were doing the thong song. And now we've arrived at 9/11. I just need everyone to know.
See that thong.
So anyways, the towers
here. Literally. Isn't it rich?
Aren't I queer? He truly... look, a big ups to the bisexuals, our listeners and otherwise, and perhaps he is that, but there wasn't enough fighting about the gay rumors for me. Like it was too...
I didn't know there were gay rumors.
Oh, the whole time he was on, I feel like those whole first few seasons, it was like, is this guy gay or not? And then he just quietly got married midway through Glee, and I don't remember anyone saying anything about it.
Well, so I think Matthew Morrison's biggest flaw is he thinks he has enough riz that the room is with him no matter what's happening.
Yeah,
and he truly cannot read a room. So you're holding people hostage about 9/11. You're doing the thong song. But also, as we all know, part of the tragedy behind being someone who loved Glee is that there have been several cast deaths. And whenever an anniversary comes up for that death, Matthew Morrison has to post about it and have the most unhinged caption you've ever seen. Like one year it was Corey Monteith, Matthew Morrison, and then the guy who played Puck. And the caption isn't anything about those boys and how he got to work with those boys during the height of his career or anything. It's literally Angel, the dancing man emoji, Angel emoji.
No, stop.
That's unhinged. That's sociopathic behavior.
Also, you gotta be, I know he's friends with all these boys, but you can't co-mourn Corey Monteith with Mark Salling and Naya Rivera. You're not allowed. You have to leave Mark Salling separate from that group, unfortunately.
Yeah, correct.
He was a fucking pedophile. You know, like you can't you don't publicly. What next? What's he going to do for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday? I mean,
after the Angel, the dancing man, the Angel. Here's the thing. The rest of the Glee cast And I'm not even talking about like Leah Michele or Jonathan Groff. Like they're people who are getting work. But the rest of the Glee cast that are doing like the rewatch podcasts and the anniversary shoots and things like that, they're so respectful about like all of the tragedies that have actually happened. And they also refuse to like talk about it in the nitty gritty goriness of it all. And then you have Matthew Morrison.
Who's basically sending in clowns.
Who can't respect 9/11, so why would he respect his deceased cast members? And I just think that should be illegal. I think he should be in jail.
God, this is hard. I'm sorry. This is hard. And did it? Because that's the other thing. He left the show before it ended, right? Because Corey Monteith took over as like the director of the show, right?
No.
Or of the school.
No. So the actor Corey Monteith and Finn Hudson, they have his character die off screen or in between seasons or episodes the senior year of the original cast. So Corey Monteith never gets to be like Finn Hudson going to college or whatever.
But wasn't he like running the thing? Wasn't he the musical director at one point
on Glee? Like, didn't they
didn't really do a flash forward. They did like a dual perspective where some of them were in New York in college and some of them were still high school students.
Yeah.
It was also the beginning of Ryan Murphy like having zero loyalty to his stars, where he was like, oh, you're all here and you all want more money? Okay, I'm just going to bring in new kids and just like, because that was something we didn't even talk about, was like, there was a whole argument where they were like, we're not going to follow the like Leah Michele and all them when they graduate. Like they're going to go off and there's going to be new kids at Glee. So we can pay them dirt and like work them even harder.
Yeah.
And then eventually the
audience
by the way,
was like, I did watch both seasons of the Glee project.
Yeah. Well, and you're the problem, Natalie, because that was like, they were like stunt casting. And then they even went to the point where they were like, let's just compete for a new spot on this show that they then were in an episode of. And then they never literally serviced that character ever again. You know what I mean? It was like...
Yeah, and only one person was supposed to win a spot on Glee. And Ryan Murphy just ended up being like, you could all have your own episode. That's fine.
It was bad.
I did, however, when I worked in theater in Ohio on the Mean Girls tour, the girl, her first name is Lindsay. And I don't think she won the Glee project, but she was one of the top 3 that got to be like on the show. She was Janice in my tour of Mean Girls, and I recognized her on sight. So what does that say about me?
Yeah, I don't know. You should have told us that.
Is that better or worse than the motorboating? Worse?
No, nothing can ever be better than the motorboating. That's the best story you've ever told.
He has such an ego. Like, how are you going to kill his ego and make him likable?
Well, here's the thing is like, he's like, when J-Lo is like, here's the thing about 9/11, we'd be like, J-Lo, you're so crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if J-Lo was doing this, we'd be like, our girl's so wild. Like we'd be like laughing about it. Whereas like he's operating as if he is like an A-list celebrity. And we're like, no one even remembers you.
Yes.
He's like, remember when I sang the thong song? And I'm like, honestly, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't actually remember that at all because it wasn't that memorable.
I would like to issue an in-show correction for those Glee heads out there who might be screaming. Natalie, because what Chris said did resonate with me about Finn running the Glee Club. So I just looked online and very briefly at the end of season 4, Will Schuester asked Finn to return while he was in college to co-lead New Directions because Finn had left originally because it was too hard to work with Will. And then I guess for a very short period of time, he did lead the Glee Club. I am sorry to change this very briefly to a fact-based podcast, but you said send in the clowns and we're here. We're all here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Because now I'm thinking about the Corey Monteith memorial episode and it takes place in the high school.
Because he's there still. Because he works at the school.
But they all come back for it. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. It didn't, the show didn't make any sense at the end of it.
And I'm going to rewatch the whole series and then I'll TikTok my thoughts.
Sure. They were also in high school for more than 5 years. So we're not like, we don't expect them to be any more fact-based than we are.
And here's the thing about J-Lo. If J-Lo was like, You know what I remember the most about 9/11? My favorite bodega had closed down and I couldn't get my orange drink for like 3 weeks. I'd be like, you know what, J-Lo? I get it. And I would expect that from J-Lo. J-Lo isn't us.
But Matthew Morrison is us, though. He is us. You know what I'm saying?
But he really is us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing cameos, you're one of us. You'll see J-Lo on Cameo.
No.
Wouldn't that be great?
No, I don't want her doing that.
What would J-Lo talk to us about?
Well, she would need a script. I mean, she would need an actual script.
But everyone would be like, I'm buying a cameo so J-Lo can tell me like bring a gun to your friend's birthday party. Like I brought that gun out of the club for Diddy. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what people would try to pay her to say in a cameo.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. There are different tiers of fame. Technically, the three of us are micro celebrities. Did you know there's a whole term for us?
Period.
Period. Okay. And I love micro celebrities. They're some of my favorite people in the whole world. However, Matthew Morrison is a person who will one day have to sit at FanCon and or do the Broadway cruise. And therefore, I just need him to act that way. Act like you know that you have to one day do the Broadway cruise.
I got it. I just got it. I know exactly what he needs to do. Matthew Morrison needs to redo his one-man show, which is just a series of him talking shit about everyone on Glee. And it should just be called Shitting Out Clowns is what it should be called. And that's my pitch.
Is the 9/11 portion part of that still or no?
Oh, he'll be dressed as various 9/11 characters throughout the day. Rudy Giuliani.
Characters.
Yes, George W. Bush. He'll just dress as them. But each one will represent a different Glee character. And honestly, hold your torches. No, we're not making fun of 9/11. And also, how dare you for even thinking about commenting that we are.
I do need to know which Glee character you think is George W. Bush, though. Now I need the parallels to start coming in.
The guidance counselor, whoever seemed the most absent-minded, the guidance counselor that Will wanted a fucking
Emma?
season.
Okay.
One. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's her. P.S. Dick Cheney, obviously Sue Sylvester / Jane Lynch. Thank you.
Okay. I'm ready if you are, Dominic. Are you ready?
I'm ready. We have pulled up to the Wax Cabin Candle Company Arena, where they are exclusively serving taquitos from Don Pablo as refreshment. And the red carpet is out. And here comes Christopher Michael DeRosa with his pitch.
Okay. Ryan Murphy is talking about rebooting Glee and how he's like, it's not a no. And I think that first what he needs to do, Matthew Morrison, is be in a Broadway show that gets him a Tony nomination. Because doing a TV show ain't going to cut it. He needs to go back to Broadway and we need to watch him do well something, not do his 9/11 one-man show at City Winery. I need him on The Great White Way, and I need him to be really good in a Broadway show, a la Darren Criss, his co-star on Glee in that, what was that musical called? Like I'm a Robot or something, endings. Whatever that was.
Yeah, maybe Happy Endings.
Maybe Happy Endings.
Oh, yeah. And then from there, the Tony success springboards him into returning as Will Schuester in the reboot of Glee. Because I actually think if they did it right this time, it could actually be really great. But it needs to stay an adult show and he needs to be the main character of the show.
And that's your pitch?
That's my pitch. I need him to be in the reboot of Glee as himself.
So my pitch, I don't know if this is going to be problematic. I'll try to change it if we agree that I should, because Chris did go first. I mean, my pitch is a very specific Broadway show without plans after.
Okay, great.
She can decide. Different. You can decide between those two, Natalie.
Okay.
Okay. I think like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge for him to sort of be in on how grandiose he's been and wanting to restart and something very public. And since I know it was just revived, we can wait a year or two if we want, although I don't think it's necessary. If we could gender bend Sunset Boulevard and have Matthew Morrison play Norm Desmond and just gender bend everyone in it. And I think because he was once a huge star and is not, and blah, blah, blah. And like he defined an era, that era's over, blah, blah. It's sort of like, it's a little bit of a wink and a nudge casting him, not as much as like Leah Michele in Funny Girl, but like in that vein where these people from Glee who need rehab are assigned the roles that they were born to play. And he can pull it off. There's some beautiful music in Sunset Boulevard, like that he can croon his way through, like with one look. And I think it'd be good for him. Not, by the way, not the redone version that won Dame Nicole Scherzinger her Tony. I don't see him in this stripped down version where everyone's covered in blood. He needs to be like
in the flashy one.
A pathetic, waning, once incredibly hot star losing his mind. I need the grand staircase. I need him possibly. And you know what? I'm going to leave this up to the writers because this is not my wheelhouse. You don't have to gender bend the other characters. He could be gay, actually. Like this, he could just be. And maybe that's part of the reason that Norm Desmond's star faded, because they found out. And then he shoots Joe Gillis at the end.
Oh.
After, of course, what I would hope would be a white hot sex scene between Matt Bomer, which is, of course, giving new meaning to the phrase white hot, because the two of them fucking's got to be the whitest thing that's ever happened on this planet, other than maybe, I don't know, ice skating. So anyway, that's my pitch.
Wow.
I really, and I know it's supposed that your pitch is supposed to be the circus pitch, but I'm like, oh yeah, let's take a job from a
Not
woman
every
and give
week,
it to
Natalie. Not every week. I will announce when these pitches are circus. How dare you?
How dare I?
What's the name of your podcast again? Men I Bludgeon on My Porch. Is that the name of it?
I am about to.
Men
maybe I should
Motorboat.
rebrand.
Men I Motorboat at the Mall, starring Natalie Katona.
Here's the thing. Because I also agree that he has to be contained in a very scripted way where someone else is doing the writing and he doesn't get to tell any of his own stories.
Okay.
And I truly believe that it would be stupid to do a whole Glee reboot and not have Will Schuester still being the choir director of McKinley High. And like, what are we doing then if Will Schuester still isn't just working at that school, living out his perverse dreams with these high school kids? And Chris, I have to imagine that that's what Ryan Murphy is going to do. That just makes... I actually
don't think he'll reboot the show.
Oh, you don't think he's going to?
You don't think it's going to happen?
I don't think it will. Why? For what? Why? You know what I mean?
I really don't think that the world can handle Glee anymore.
No.
The campiness behind it. I gotta say, the writing in this first season of Glee, the like batshit things that the principal says, like at one point he's like, Will, we need you to stay after for parent teacher night. The parents are so pissed. They found out we're giving the children prison food.
Yeah, like that's so funny.
That's
like,
so funny.
Yeah, it was a very funny show back in the day.
It's such a funny show. And Ryan Murphy has never done it better.
No, he really hasn't.
I think Glee is the reason why, like with this Shards show that's coming out or whatever, I'm like, maybe he's going to be funny again, but I just don't think he's ever going to be funny again.
No. And I don't think
Shards is not. Shards, I think, will be darkly funny, but not like Glee funny. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
But I really do like this idea of him having to be in Sunset Boulevard. I mean, you both win because Christy, you said get him a Tony, and that would get him a Tony.
I think he would get a Tony for it.
I'm surprised he didn't get a Tony for Finding Neverland. Maybe I'm the only person who liked Finding Neverland.
No, I remember it being a hot show when it came out.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful show.
I can't remember, but it got overpowered that year by something really big. I'm trying to think. Hey, Siri, what won the Tony for Best Musical in 2016? A little show called Hamilton.
I was about to guess Hamilton.
Maybe you've heard of it.
Maybe you've heard of it.
I don't remember when you tried to fix Lin-Manuel Miranda and it just turns out, I don't know, he's just nice. And maybe we were like,
he's
not
alone. An asshole. And that's why we hate him. Right. And he's annoying. And we were like, he's annoying. And that's why.
the complete
What you don't know is
Matthew
that Lynn sued us, and he actually gets 25% of the proceeds of every episode we air.
Okay, so is this another combined win where the Broadway show that he does to win the Tony is Sunset Boulevard?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I really am fine.
Too. Because usually I come with my own fix. Because usually I pitch you someone and I'm like, and I already know the answer, but let's sit on the call anyways.
Is it a circus pitch?
No, I couldn't think of a pitch this time because I was like, what's going to humble him? Because that's truly what he needs.
Matthew? Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one thing I will say is that we didn't talk about, he was, whenever magazine still existed, LOL, he was on the cover of Details magazine, which was like a men's, like not gay magazine, but it wasn't not a gay man's magazine.
No, it was
and it
gay
was
coded. Yeah. Like
it was
100%.
a gay coded, more like GQ, like lower than GQ, but not out magazine. And he was on the cover of it whenever Glee was coming out. And when I tell you, he looked incredible. It was, and that's where I learned that people.
He's a good-looking man, baby.
Yeah.
He's
I know, I'm the only person who's
man.
disgusted by him. Because at first I wrote in my notes, I go, the problem is he really thinks he has the riz of a more attractive man. Like he thinks he's better looking than he is.
And he just never translated it out of Glee is the problem. He was like, I'm going to be so famous from this. You know what I mean? He really thought he was going to be J-Lo. I think we've done it. This has been an absolute whirlwind in every way possible.
The whirliest, my God.
A motorboat whirlwind is what it is. Natalie, where can people find you?
People can find me on any place that there is internet. So every Thursday, my podcast, To All the Men I've Tolerated Before, tackles everyday misogyny. Chris has been on several times talking about things like The Real Housewives, Wicked, and a little movie you might have heard of called It Ends With Us.
Maybe you've heard of it.
And we tackle anything from women's healthcare to women being represented in media to books written by women. And, and I might start beating up men in my kitchen because Dom seems to really
fighting people in your
part.
kitchen is a great.
I'm only telling you what I thought the name was. I'm sorry if I've misremembered.
And if you would like me to send you personally the Matthew Morrison monologue about 9/11, you can DM me on TikTok and or Instagram at NatalieK124 and I'll have it at the ready because I watch it once a week. That's how often
send it to me
it's
again. I need you to send it to me again. I'm one of those people. Oh,
I'm putting it in our group chat. It's going in the group chat.
Dominick, where can people find you?
You can find me at domentary.com. You can find me at Dominick Pupa on Instagram. You can find me anywhere, really. I'm truly everywhere now. I am the universe. Christopher, where can the listeners of our podcast find you on the World Wide Web, also known as, of course, Al Gore's Internet?
You can find me at the Chris DeRosa. You can find the show at Fixing Famous People, and you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople. I wish you both well, and as always, where's Shelley? Goodbye.